Hi, in this tutorial I will cover variable, data type and modifier. Let's start with variable. Variable is a name which can be used to store a particular value. Value like 10, 10.1 or some character like ABC or string. Whenever you want to store a particular data value, you need to store them in a variable. Variable is like a placeholder which can contain some data value. So this is called as variable. Second point is data type. Every variable we need to specify with something called as data type. Data type like integer, float, double. So while defining a variable, we need to first tell what kind of value a particular variable can hold. That can be governed by or defined by using data type. For example, here I am defining int space emp id. Int is a data type. Emp id is a variable. This means emp id variable can hold data type integer. So emp id can hold values like 10, 20 or any other integer value. I have defined another variable which is called as emp salary of data type float. So this means variable emp salary can hold float data type value. So values like 1.1, 2.1. So there are various data types available in C language, and we can define variables of these different data types. So I covered variable and data type. Now while defining variable, there are some rules we need to follow. Here I have covered 4 points. 1. Variable names are case sensitive. Variable name must begin with a letter. Some systems allow underscore as a first character, but it is always safe to start with a particular letter. Variable name should not be a keyword. You cannot define a variable as int, char, if, else, because they are reserved keywords. You cannot use them for defining a variable name. Fourth point is variable name should not contain a space. When you define a variable name, it should not contain a space. Like I cannot define emp space name. That's not allowed. It has to be one single word like emp name. This is a small example which shows how to define a variable along with data type. Here I am defining variables like iPrincipal, iMonths, which are of type int, which is integer. Then I have variables of type float. So this is called declaration of variable. Then you can assign values to these variables. You can also define a variable, declare a variable and assign the value. This is the example. I am saying int comp num equal to 1212. This is also allowed. Lastly, we will see modifiers. The amount of memory space allocated for a variable is derived by modifiers. So modifiers will tell how much memory space need to be allocated for a particular variable. There are various modifiers available like short, long, signed, unsigned, long. So while defining a variable along with the data type, before that you can assign a modifier. Like I can say short space int space empnum. That means empnum is a variable of data type int and it has got modifier short. So that short will tell how much memory need to be allocated for int variable. For example, when we define a variable as int, the memory allocated is 4 byte. Whereas when we define a variable as long int, the memory allocated is 8 byte. So this modifier is exactly instructing to the system how much memory need to be allocated. So that's the purpose of modifiers. So we covered variable, data type and modifiers. That completes the tutorial. Thank you.